Good evening from United Nations headquarters in New York. Earlier today, the UN formally admitted the new African state of Zimbabwe as its 153rd member. Former British colony of Rhodesia became independent last April after years of guerrilla warfare ended in elections for black majority rule. The winner of those elections, now Prime Minister Robert Mugabe, was present here at the United Nations today. Mr. Mugabe will see President Carter on Wednesday to discuss increased aid for his regime, which came into being with the support of the Carter administration. Mugabe's emergence has raised hopes of a new era of racial tolerance and democracy in Africa, now that a century of European colonialism is formally over. Tonight, the problems still facing Robert Mugabe in realizing that hope. Prime Minister, let's start with the last thing that Jim mentioned, a story that has been in the news recently, the arrest of Edgar Takeri on the charges of murdering a white farmer. That case is being seen here, at least, as an ultimate test of the principles you say the new Zimbabwe will embody. Do you see the case that way?
No, certainly I don't. I don't think it's of the same nature that the police have handled. They will handle this case in the same way. And I don't see any reason why it should differ from the other cases. Obviously, a minister is involved, but a minister is also subject to the law, like anybody else, and it is up to the courts to prove whether the minister is guilty or not guilty.
And given even that he was one of your associates during the long guerrilla struggle, that he's the general secretary of your political party, that he has a strong political following in the country, do you have confidence that he can receive a trial like any other person?
Yes, certainly, and he's willing to subject himself to a trial like anybody else. There is no question of our having it otherwise. We feel that if the police have made out a case against any one of us, it is only right and proper, fair to the particular person charged, and also fair to the people, that the minister subject himself to a trial.
Given that the victim of the crime, whether Mr. Takeri turns out to be guilty of it or not, given that the victim was a white farmer, does that not add a special dimension in the politics of Zimbabwe today?
Some people would want to see it, of course, as a different case, or a case falling in a different category, because, one, a minister is involved, and secondly, a white man is involved as the victim. But as far as we are concerned,